Dear students, in the last class we have seen the operation of NMOS transistor. Now in this class we are going to fabricate NMOS transistor on silicon substrate. Now let us see the process steps. So these are important steps we have in NMOS fabrication process. So those are taking a substrate and taking thick oxide layer, photoresist, exposing this photoresist to UV light through the mask and etching that oxide layer, thin oxide layer, polysilicon and diffusion, contact cuts and metallization we have in the fabrication of NMOS enhancement mode transistor. Now coming to depletion type transistor, we have extra step before the formation of this thin oxide layer. We need to form the channel in depletion type transistor. So that is the extra step we will be having in order to fabricate a depletion type transistor. And now let us see the plan. That is, suppose if you are going to construct a house, we will see what we need to have, that is how many bedrooms we have, how many that means kitchen we will be having, hall, like this we will be planned accordingly, right? So in the same manner, if we want to fabricate a transistor, we need to have an idea about what we need to fabricate exactly. So actually if you see the structure of the transistor over here, NMOS transistor, this NMOS transistor is having a p-type substrate and upon which a silicon dioxide layer, and upon this silicon dioxide layer a polysilicon gate is fabricated, and this polysilicon gate it is acting as a gate, and to the both sides of the gate n-type source and n-type drain are fabricated. So this is how we must get the NMOS transistor exactly. That means we need to fabricate a gate and we need to fabricate source, we need to fabricate a drain, and with what type of material. That is, if we want to construct house or in that kitchen or something, with what material, with concrete or with suppose whatever the material which we are using for the construction of wall, that will not be used for the construction of the slab, right? So in the same manner, if we want to fabricate a transistor, what material which you are going to use for gate. So for gate we require to have the gate with polysilicon, and we require to have the source with N diffusion, suppose if it is NMOS transistor, right? So drain also with N diffusion and metal contacts. See, for all these gate, source, drain, we must have metal contacts. So in order to connect to external devices, we require metal contacts, right? So all these metal contacts may be fabricated with any type of metal. So in general the metal may be aluminum, okay? So now coming to where to be fabricated. So in the same manner, as we will select particular area where you require to construct a kitchen or hall. So like this we are going to have a plan where you require to construct certain room in house. Like in the same manner, we also have an idea about where you require to form this gate, where you require to form this source, drain, metal contacts, all this, okay? So gate, it is has to be fabricated in the middle of the substrate, as you see here in the structure of NMOS here, and source, drain, these two are to be fabricated to the both sides of the gate, okay? And these metal contacts, we have to fabricate these metal contacts to the gate, to the source and to drain also, okay? So this is what how we are going to plan to fabricate NMOS transistor, like, okay, right? Now let us move to this process steps. Now the first step is let us take opposite type substrate. That is, if you want to fabricate NMOS transistor, you require to take opposite type substrate like p-type substrate you require to take. So how do you get p-type substrate? Actually, from the process of silicon wafer manufacturing, we won't get this p-type or n-type substrate. We are going to get a pure silicon wafer. So how do you convert that pure silicon wafer into p-type? By doping with p impurities, like all third year group elements or acceptor elements. If you dope with all these type of elements, you will be getting that a silicon substrate will be converted into p-type. So we have two different techniques of doping, that is either by using ion implantation or by using diffusion. Any one of the doping method, you can dope p impurities onto the silicon substrate, so that your silicon substrate is going to converted as p-type substrate. And now what may be the size of the wafer? So the size of the wafer may be 75 mm to 150 mm diameter, and the thickness of this wafer is 0.4 mm thickness, and the doping concentration which you require on this p-type substrate is 10 power 15 to 10 power 16 number of atoms per cubic centimeter. Okay, so this is the this is how you have to plan the substrate. Okay, now you have to take the thick oxide layer. See, as you know, all these whatever transistors or whatever, all those are very minute particles, that is we are going to fabricate within a small area only we are going to fabricate. So we have to go through this process, this thick oxide layer and photoresist layer. So we have to go through these process, oxidation, photolithography process only, in order to select a particular area where you require to construct the gate. See, here our plan is we will first fabricate the gate, later we will be going for source and drain. Okay, so for that reason, in order to select the area where I require to form the gate, I am going through oxidation and photolithography, right? So for oxidation process, we are going through this thick oxide process. So how this thick oxide process is done? By heating the silicon substrate around 900 degrees centigrade and sending water vapor onto the substrate, so that you will be getting a silicon dioxide layer of thickness 1 micrometer will be going to form on the total surface of the substrate. Okay, so this is how you can form thick oxide layer. Okay, now after formation of thick oxide layer, we are going to have a photoresist layer. So this photoresist is in the liquid form. And how do you have this photoresist layer on the total surface of the substrate? Means if you can pour few drops of photoresist, and if you spin this substrate, so that this photoresist will be evenly spreaded on the total surface area of this silicon dioxide layer, right? So in that way you can get this photoresist layer. Now coming to the next step, this is exposing the photoresist layer to UV light through optical mask. Here this photoresist we have used is a negative type photoresist. So negative type photoresist, when it is exposed to UV light, it get hardened, and where it is not exposed to UV light, it remain as soft it is. Okay, and here this optical mask is a opaque plate, means a non-transparent plate which has transparencies in it. If you observe the optical mask over here, so this optical mask where it is shown or indicated with black color, here this black color indicates it is closed. It been closed here over this area where it is black color, shown in black color, and where it is shown in yellow color, that area of this optical mask is open. So now we are exposing this photoresist to UV light through this mask. So here this area, this particular area of photoresist where it is not exposed to UV light will be remain as soft it is, because we are using negative photoresist, and this area where it is exposed to UV light will go harden. Okay, So after using some solvent, we are going to remove that area where this photoresist is soft. So the remaining area, the photoresist will be hardened. Okay, and after removing the photoresist layer, we will be having the substrate like this. Okay, now we need to etch this silicon dioxide also. So for this we will be going to use etchants like hydrofluoric acid. So this hydrofluoric acid, it has the power that it can smash even bones, right? So by using this hydrofluoric acid, we can remove this silicon dioxide layer. Actually, we will be going to pour this hydrofluoric acid over the total surface of this substrate. Where this silicon dioxide is covered with this photoresist, there this photoresist is it protects this silicon dioxide layer from hydrofluoric acid, and where this silicon dioxide is exposed to hydrofluoric acid, that part of silicon dioxide layer will go removed. Okay, will be going to convert it into hydrofluorosilicic acid, which is in the form of liquid, and you can easily wash it away. Okay, now after etching and by using some other solvent, we can remove that remaining photoresist also. So after removing all these things, you can get a window in this silicon dioxide layer. So this you can call it as window in this oxide layer. So why this window in this oxide means, so we have selected a particular area in order to form the gate layer, so that the particular area where you require to form a gate, only that particular area of substrate is exposed, and the remaining area of the substrate is covered with this silicon dioxide layer, right? Now let us move on to the next step. So because just beneath the polysilicon gate, we require to have a silicon dioxide layer in order to provide the insulation between a substrate and polysilicon gate. So in order to have that insulation, we need to have a thin oxide layer. So the thickness of this thin oxide or the insulation must be less than 0.1 micrometer. So for that reason, we are going through the process thin oxide layer. So how do you get this thin oxide process means, we will be going to heat this substrate at around 1200 degrees centigrade. Later we will be sending oxygen gas onto the total surface. So that we will be having a silicon dioxide layer onto the total surface of substrate. But the thickness is around 0.1 micrometer thickness only we will be going to have. So this thickness of this silicon dioxide layer we can control with the temperature and the time of the reaction which you are going to send onto the substrate, whether it may be oxygen gas, whether it may be water vapor. Okay, so whatever it may be, but depending on the time and depending on the time means duration of the reaction, and depending on the temperature, these two will decide the thickness of the layer. Okay, so but here we require 0.1 micrometer thickness only. So for that reason we will send oxygen gas, and also at around 1200 degrees centigrade, so that you will be getting a thin oxide layer on the total surface of a substrate. Okay, now after the formation of this thin oxide layer, we got the insulation between gate and substrate. Now we have to form a polysilicon gate. So how to pattern this polysilicon gate means, by means of chemical vapor deposition scheme, you can pattern this polysilicon, and the thickness of this polysilicon is 1 to 2 micrometers thickness. And this polysilicon is heavily doped with P, because we are going to have NMOS transistor here. This polysilicon is already heavily doped with P, then it is patterned like using chemical vapor deposition. Okay, and now we have formed gate, right? Here we have formed gate. That means formation of gate is completed up to here. Now what we need to fabricate? What are the remaining things? We require to fabricate a source, a drain, and metal contacts for source, and metal contacts for drain, and metal contacts for gate. So we require to form 2 more terminals, and also we require to give metal contacts for each and every terminal. So what we need to do again? See what we did for formation of gate. We have selected a particular area on the substrate where you require to form this gate. Okay, so later you form the gate, right? So in the same manner, we have to select a particular area to form the source and to form drain. So actually in NMOS transistor, you can interchange both source and drain. Why? Because the doping concentration of source and drain are same. So you can form source and drain at a time. You can fabricate source and drain at a time. So in order to select the area where you require to form source region and where you require to form drain. So these 2 areas you must be selecting, right? So in order to select those 2 areas, so actually in order to select the area where you require to form the gate, we went through 2 processes. That is a thick oxide layer formation and polysilicon, not polysilicon, thick oxide layer. After that, photolithography. That means pasting a photoresist layer and exposing it to UV light. So by going through all this process, we have selected the area for gate. So in the same manner, we have to go through the same process again. Yeah, you can see here. We have to go through oxidation, photolithography, etching. Then you can able to select the area where you require to form the source and drains. So after selecting the area where you require to form source and drain, you can easily diffuse or you can easily dope an impurities. Means by means of either diffusion process or by using either ion implantation process, you can diffuse an impurities easily, right? So I am not going to repeat all this process again. Why? Because you know oxidation, photolithography, etching process, right? So after going through these 3 processes, you can able to select that particular area, right? Now coming to the next step. In this step, by going through oxidation, photolithography, etching process, we have selected area where we require to form source and drain regions. Okay, so here this particular area of substrate and this particular area of substrate, only these 2 areas are exposed to external things, and the remaining area is being protected by a silicon dioxide over here. And also this gate where it is formed at the middle of the substrate, this gate also acting as a protector from the external things. It also helps, right? So we can see that here. So if you diffuse here, if you diffuse n impurities here, so by means of ion implantation process, you can diffuse n impurities, and the depth of this diffusion is, or the depth of doping is 1 micrometer thickness. And here you will have some depletion layer here or here, because this is n type and this substrate is of p type. So in between this n type and p type, you will be having some depletion layer formed, and this n type diffusion, you can it is shown with green color, and the depletion layer, it is shown with violet color, right? So what is the process of self-aligning? So whatever the polysilicon is there, which with underlying thin oxide layer, it acts as the mask during the diffusion process. Means it protects the particular area in order to not to diffuse. So it also acting as protector. So this is called a self-aligning process. Now coming to the next step, which is contact cuts. So this is nothing but cutting the silicon dioxide layer where you require contacts for source, gate and drain. So simple, you require to connect a source or drain or gate to the external devices, right? So in order to connect to external devices, you require metal contacts. So for that purpose, you are going to select a particular area in the source region and a particular area in the gate, a particular area in the drain to form the metal contacts, right? So in order to select those area, you require to go through thick oxide layer formation, then photolithography and etching. By going through all these three processes, you can able to select the area where you require these contact cuts. Okay. And after metallization, so you can pour that aluminum oxide, aluminum on this total surface, so that you will be having contacts, metal contacts, where this substrate is exposed to metal, where this surface is not exposed to silicon dioxide, then you will not be having any metals, right? So actually this is how you can have you can fabricate NMOS transistor on a silicon substrate. This silicon dioxide layer, actually we are going to have encapsulation here. So that means we require only this contacts has to be connected to the external devices. So all the other things, p-type substrate, whatever the source, gate, drain are there, those we don't require to contact with external devices, right? So in order to protect all these areas, you are going to have some encapsulation, you are going to have some insulation over here, and that insulation, the process of providing that type of insulation process, you can call it as encapsulation, right? After encapsulating, you can go to testing and then you can go for packaging, right? Now you have one more step here. So for depletion type transistor, all these steps we have discussed so far are fabrication process of NMOS enhancement type transistor. But now if you want to form NMOS depletion type transistor, so what is the difference between NMOS enhancement and depletion type transistor? The NMOS enhancement mode transistor is not having any channel without application of the input voltage. With the application of the input voltage, the channel is created during the operation. But in depletion type transistor, the channel is already exist even before the application of input voltage. So now, in order to have the channel even before the application of input voltage, you require to have certain N ions in order to form a channel between source and drain. That is just underneath this silicon dioxide layer, or just underneath this gate, we require to have this ion implantation, right? So where you are going to form this gate? See, if you observe here, we have selected a particular area to form the gate, okay? So after selecting this, if you have N ions implanted here, later if you have thick oxide layer and polysilicon and a source, N-type source and N-type drain and metal contacts, everything, then it will be depletion type transistor, right? So only one extra step is going to added after this window in oxide step. So after this window in oxide, you will be going to have N ions to be implanted here, over here, just beneath the channel, just beneath the silicon dioxide layer in order to form the channel. So the only extra step I am going to discuss here. And after formation of this ions, N ions in between the source and drain, which are going to be formed, after just formation of this ions, you can have a thin oxide layer. After that, you can have polysilicon gate. Later, you can select a particular area for source and particular area for drain, and you can form source, you can form drain, and later you can have metal contacts. So all the remaining process will be the same. Just include this small step after formation of a window in oxide. Okay. So in order to have a depletion type transistor. So if you see, the depletion type transistor will be like this. So you will be having depletion layer over here like this, because the depletion layer is nothing but it's a junction, or it's a junction between this n-type source, channel, drain to the p-type substrate. Okay. So this is about the processing steps. So let us see the summary of it. So here we have used few masks here. So what are those masks and all we will be going to see now. So let us see the summary. So the first mask. So why this first mask is used? It is used to pattern the silicon dioxide layer, and after that, yes, this oxide layer, silicon dioxide layer, we can also call it as Thin-ox mask, or sometimes it also called as diffusion mask. And coming to the second mask. So this second mask is used for formation of gate. So this second mask you can also call it as self-aligning mask. See, this second mask is actually what we have seen in this PPTs, that is second mask. So coming to mask 3, in this we need to have diffusions and diffusions in order to form source and drain. So in order to select those areas, you require one mask, right? So that mask is this third one. And coming to fourth mask. So in order to grow thick oxide over all the overall, and then to etch for contact cuts. That means, so after the formation of source, drain, gate, you must be having that contact cuts, right? So in order to select that areas for contact cuts, you require another mask, right? So that mask is this mask 4. And coming to mask 5. So you require to deposit metal over silicon substrate. So in order to deposit metal, you require to have this mask 5. And mask 6 would be overglassing, right? So these are different steps involved in fabrication process of NMOS transistor. So what we have seen in this class. So we went through oxidation, photolithography, etching process in order to select a particular area to construct anything. That means it may be gate, it may be source, or it may be a drain. So what we require to fabricate? Source, gate, drain. So gate is of what type of material? It is of polysilicon and source and drain are of with and diffusion, and metal contacts are of with aluminum. So by using these materials and by selecting a particular area, we can design, we can fabricate NMOS transistor very comfortably. Okay, thank you.